hey, should I cash in my money in the bank? Again, Io Sky comes up with a fire extinguisher. Pss, 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 like, fellow, too stupid, solo. Duh, duh, duh. Hey guys, what's up, and welcome to another video of the Predator Vlogs. And today we're gonna talk about WWE Survivor Series WarGames. The premium live event is finally in the books, and what a show we had. Let's break down all of the matches. We have different action figures right here. We're going to talk about our different dollies, and we're going to talk about the matches at Survivor Series. So let's get into the video and let's start talking and review each and every one of these matches. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do so. Smash that like button, comment if you want to see more videos like this, and just keep watching. Let's do this. So for the first match, we have a WarGames match, and it's the women who are starting it off. We have the team of Rhea Ripley, we have Bayley, we have Io Sky, we have Naomi, and we also have Bianca Belair. So these 5 women are the faces, and they are going up against your women's champions. You have Nia Jax, you have Liv Morgan, you have Candice LeRae, and you have Raquel Rodriguez right here. Yeah, we got the Raquel figure as well. The Raquel Rodriguez, and they're going up against Tiffany Stratton, who is Miss Money in the Bank. Of course, I don't have Tiffany Stratton's figure yet, but it's in the mail and it's coming in soon. So we have this 5-on-5 women's WarGames match, and of course we have Bayley, who starts off this match, and who's she up against inside the WarGame structure? Nia Jax. And these two girls just start fighting, bashing each other, and we're off to WarGames. And before I talk about the match in detail, I thought Rhea Ripley wearing that mask was amazing. Did you get a chance to look at that? That mask was so amazing. We need an elite figure of that, right? Comment down below if you think we need an elite figure of Rhea Ripley with that horn mask, right? For the lack of a better word. Now, so these women start fighting, and one by one, each and every one of them enters the cage, and then we have 5 women. It's a 5-on-5 WarGames match, and the bell goes ding, 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 and the match is underway, and these women put on a show, right? So they are beating each other, they're using toilet seats, they're using kendo sticks, they're using fire extinguishers, they're using everything that they can get their hands on, and it was brutal, man. It was a brutal matchup. I think one of the best spots was you have Io Sky standing on top of the cage. You got Io standing on top of the cage, and you have Tiffany Stratton standing on top of the cage. And then Io Sky right here, what she does is she puts on a trash can on top of her, and she jumps right from the top of the cage onto all the other women. And then Tiffany Stratton does the same thing onto all the other women, and the crowd went wild. And oh my god, I'm just running out of breath talking about this match. It was that exhilarating. And then we also had a moment where Tiffany Stratton had the Money in the Bank briefcase, and then you have Liv Morgan lying down, and you have Nia Jax lying down, and Tiffany Stratton is thinking, hey, should I cash in my Money in the Bank? Huh? Should I become the women's champion? Should I become the world women's champion? Can I cash in? Is that even possible? We don't know. But then again, Io Sky comes up with a fire extinguisher, pss, 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 and she goes all out, right? And everyone just goes down. And finally, we have Rhea Ripley picking up the win for her team. She does the riptide on Liv Morgan from the top rope. She goes boom into the ring, and it's a 1, it's a 2, it's a 3, and the match is over. Rhea Ripley and the rest of the baby faces win this match. I think it was an amazing match, but I would have liked to seen the heels go over, because we had a Money in the Bank winner, we had the WWE Women's Champion, we had the Women's World Champion, all of these names in the same team, and how could they lose? I mean, really, how could they lose? So I would have liked to see the heels go up in this one. It actually would have meant more. You were protecting your champions, but I think Triple H is high on Rhea Ripley and Io Sky and the work they are doing. I think you could have still put them over without having them win. But, you know, it is what it is. And that was the first match of Survivor Series. So after the War Games match, we have a United States Championship match, right? So we have, first of all, the challenger, Shinsuke Nakamura. He doesn't have the US title at that point, spoiler alert. So we have Shinsuke Nakamura, and we have LA Knight. Yeah, he's the US champ. Yeah. So we have these two going at it, at each other. Shinsuke Nakamura has been back, 2 days, and he's already had a title shot. So 2 days and he gets a title shot, and LA Knight, who has 15 people waiting in the ranks for him to get a title shot, they all take a back seat, right? So LA Knight had some bangers with Santos Escobar. He had an amazing match with Andrade, El Idolo. And we haven't even seen the rematch with Logan Paul. But still, we got to give Shinsuke Nakamura, who's here, another match for the US title. And Nakamura is not doing his badass music where he's a na 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 na. He's not doing any of that. He's now some gothic, dark, Darth Vader type of character. And he's just spraying the mist. He's kind of attacking LA Knight, blindsiding him on SmackDown. That's what has been happening for the last 2 weeks. And these two have a match, and WWE kind of booked themselves in a corner with this match, right? So Nakamura's back almost, 2 weeks, and you can't have him lose, right? You can't have him lose, because if he loses, there's nothing to do with us, all right? We don't need you, Nakamura. You always lose. You always lose. So we don't need you if you're losing. And people kind of went cold with LA Knight a little bit. I don't know what happened there. He's just not getting that sort of reactions anymore. But he just won the title. He's just been holding it, and he's having some mid-card feuds. And I don't know what the plan was with LA Knight, but then somehow he's not just getting the reactions he used to 1 year ago. Right? Go back and check. 1 year ago, he was in the main event picture. Now he's just holding a mid-card title. Well, not anymore. Spoiler alert. Well, he was holding a mid-card title, and now he isn't doing that anymore either. So these people have a good match. They beat each other up. LA Knight goes for the BFT, doesn't connect, a few near falls, and then finally Shinsuke Nakamura hits him with the Kinshasa. And Shinsuke Nakamura is your new United States champion. And then the next match was a triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship. That's right, so we had the champion Braun Breaker go up in a triple threat match against fella Sheamus and Ludwig Kaiser. I don't have the Ludwig Kaiser figure, so these two are going to have to do for this one. So it was an amazing, hard-hitting match, right? Contested under triple threat rules. So the most important thing about triple threat rules is that the champion can lose his title without even getting pinned. So Braun Breaker needed to be aware of that, and boy, did he put on a stellar fight for the title. I mean, whenever you have Sheamus in a match, you know it's going to be a hard-hitting encounter, because Sheamus is putting on banger after banger after banger after banger. You get the point, right? So Sheamus, his storyline was that he has won each and every title there is to win in the WWE, but he hasn't won the Intercontinental Championship. That's what is keeping him from becoming a Grand Slam champion. And so Shamo wanted the Intercontinental title. And Ludwig Kaiser, well, it was his first match on a PLE, and he wanted to make a name for himself and impress his ring general, Gunther. Right? So these three men put on a stellar match. They used steel chairs, kendo sticks. They beat the snot out of each other. And finally, there's a moment in that match where Sheamus kind of hits the knee on Braun Breaker, and then he's kind of just pinning him. And it looks like Sheamus is going to finally win, right? And the ref goes 1, 2, and then just Ludwig Kaiser pulls out the ref, and Sheamus has that look in his face, and he's like, fella, how could you do that, fella? And that was just an amazing sequence. And Ludwig Kaiser is just at the back laughing. And that was an amazing part, a small spot in that match which I really liked. And then finally Ludwig Kaiser comes into the ring and Braun Breaker just spears him out of his boots. I mean, it looked like Ludwig Kaiser was hit by a speeding train, and Braun Breaker just killed him with that spear. And then finally Breaker gets the win and he retains the Intercontinental Championship. And this was a really great match. I'm really impressed by Braun Breaker. He's just a kid, right? And he has a long way to go. And he has those Steiner genes in him. And he's going to be a WrestleMania main eventer one day. You can bet your bottom dollar and you can take that to the bank, because Braun Breaker is going to be a WrestleMania main eventer. He's going to headline multiple WrestleManias. Just wait and watch and have faith, because he's a great wrestler. Triple H is behind him. The fans like him. He has the genes. He has the look. He has everything. So he's going to be a great champ for WWE in the future. But right now we can enjoy matches like this because Braun Breaker is still your Intercontinental Champion. And then we had the World Heavyweight Championship match between the Ring General Gunther and the challenger and former Judgment Day member Damian Priest. And these two men had an amazing old school matchup. So the story leading up to the match was that Gunther was no longer confident that he could get it done and he could win the big matches. And Gunther had a lot of self-doubt and was not really sure if he could win the big one against Damian Priest. And Priest had been beating him up. Priest, over the last few weeks on Monday Night Raw, Priest was just beating the hell out of Gunther. So Gunther came into this match humbled. He wasn't really sure what to do. But then these two people, these two stars, had a stellar matchup. They kind of beat the snot out of each other. And they put on an old school classic. The narrative of the match was that finally, while Damian Priest was kind of having that match, he kind of dislocated his shoulder. And I think he really did, because it looked like he was trying to pop his shoulder back in place. And now Damian Priest, like the typical babyface, is just fighting with one shoulder. And Gunther, he sees that the Ring General is too smart, and he sees that his opponent has a weakness, and he capitalizes on that. And these people keep fighting. And Damian Priest goes for the Razor's Edge, and he can't deliver it because his shoulders hurt. And then he fights against all odds, and he finally delivers the Razor's Edge. And it goes 1, 2, and then Gunther kicks out. Gunther kicks out of the Razor's Edge. And that's when you know that, hey, Gunther's not losing this one. And then finally we have some interference. We have his Judgment Day team member, former Judgment Day team member, Finn Balor, coming in and attacking Damian Priest. Yeah, these two men are not done with each other. And Finn Balor once again comes out to screw Damian Priest of his championship match. And he delivers the coup de grace on Damian Priest on the outside. The ref didn't see it. It's not a disqualification. And finally, Gunther pulls him back in the ring and just puts on the submission on him, and he's got him like that. And Damian Priest sadly fades away, and the referee calls it a win for Gunther via submission. And still your World Heavyweight Champion, Gunther. And then we have the final match of the night. We have the men's WarGames match. And we have all the baby faces of the OG bloodline. We got Sami Zayn, we got the Usos, we got Jimmy Uso, and then we got Jey Uso, yeet. We got Jey Uso, and then we have CM Punk. He comes out, and then finally we also have Roman Reigns come out. I guess Jey was the last one to come out, and everyone's kind of doing that with him. Day one-ish, yeet! Everyone's doing the yeet dance with him, and the people were going crazy. But then Roman Reigns had that aura about him. And then CM Punk, this crazy man, he gets into a fight with the other team, because Solo and his gang members are already out there. So the Bloodline 2.0, they were the first to come out, right? They were the first to come out. They came out together, showing solidarity. Solo is their leader. You had Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, you had Jacob Fatu, and of course you had the Ozilla, Big Bronson Reed. You had all of them come out, get into the cage, and then when they're in the cage, CM Punk just goes out there and he starts picking a fight with them. He starts picking a fight even before the match has begun. CM Punk, trust him to create controversy and he will deliver. That's why he's the best in the world. That's right, I am. I am the best in the world. I am the voice of the voiceless. All right, that's enough. So, and then we have this kind of difference between Roman Reigns and CM Punk, and they're not seeing eye to eye still now, despite having the sit down with Paul Heyman there. They don't see eye to eye, and then the match gets underway and these men are just beating each other up. It's hard to say that they're related because you don't smack your relatives around that much, and these men were just smacking the taste out of everyone's mouths, and they were having a great fight. And then finally, when it's time for CM Punk to enter, and there's just CM Punk, there's Sami Zayn, and then there's Roman Reigns inside the cage, and CM Punk is kind of ready to go out and he wants to fight, and then Roman Reigns just stops him and tells Sami Zayn to go out and do the fighting. So the seeds are already sown between these two men, and these two men already have differences among them, and they don't care if it's WarGames, they don't care if it's Paul Heyman, they don't care if it's the bloodline that's, on the line. They just have their two egos, and that's kind of clashing right there. So Sami Zayn goes in, he's fighting, everyone's fighting out there, and finally the bell rings and the timer's up, and now it's time for Roman Reigns to come out and start fighting, and CM Punk just shoves him aside and goes out because CM Punk don't care. CM Punk don't care about no tribal chief. CM Punk's there for Paul Heyman and he's there to fight. So CM Punk goes out, and when he's out and he's just about to enter the WarGames cage, it's his first ever WarGames match. It's the first ever WarGames match that he's been in his life. And just when he's about to enter, you have Solo Sikoa and everyone else who are just right there. I don't think you had Solo Sikoa, actually. You had Jacob Fatu and the Tonga brothers, and they're right there, and they're kind of egging him on to, come on, Punk, come on, let's fight, let's see what you got, buddy. And CM Punk, being the having that great in-ring IQ, he picks up a toolbox and he goes to town, smacking everyone with the toolbox, left, right, and center. He smacks everyone with the toolbox, and then finally the numbers game get to him, and he is down for the count. And Solo Sikoa is there as well in the ring, and finally, when Roman Reigns is about to enter the match, remember the baby faces lost the advantage match, so they did not have the advantage going into WarGames. And Solo Sikoa, he's a smart man, he's the new tribal chief, and he's not gonna be outdone by anyone. So Solo Sikoa brings his chain, brings a lock, and locks the WarGames structure. And now he's laughing at Roman Reigns, saying that, hey Roman, you can't even enter the WarGames cage. And if Roman can't enter the WarGames cage and the referee can't enter the WarGames cage, we won't have a match. But Solo don't care. Solo just want to beat people up. That's right, acknowledge me. So Solo's just beating the snot out of everyone, and Roman Reigns is out there and he can't get into the cage. He's trying everything, and then Roman Reigns does the unthinkable. He climbs up the cage and gets in. Too stupid, Solo. You couldn't think about that. You couldn't think that Roman Reigns would go all Spider-Man on your ass and he would just climb up the cage, and then Roman Reigns jumps from the top of the cage onto everyone that's in there from the Bloodline 2.0, and they are all flattened out, and then the referees cut open the chain and the referee's in and the match is underway. Ding, 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 ding. And these two groups start fighting with each other. One of the most important spot is when CM Punk is just about to deliver a GTS, and then Solo Sikoa standing right in front, and then Roman Reigns is right here, and then CM Punk is at the back, and then Roman Reigns goes to spear Solo Sikoa. it's like this, and Roman Reigns goes to spear Solo Sikoa. Solo Sikoa dodges, and he hits Punk with the spear, and Punk is just cut in half. And Roman Reigns is shocked. He's like, oh, did I hit you? Sorry, my bad, sorry, this one's on me. And now the original bloodline, the OG, they look like they're in tatters. And then finally you have that spot where Roman Reigns is lying flat on a table and big Bronson Reed is going up to the top of the cage to deliver a tsunami on top of Roman Reigns, who's on the table. And if he hits, Roman Reigns is done. He's at the top of the cage and he comes out and jumps into Roman Reigns. But wait, there's CM Punk who pulls out Roman Reigns, and Bronson Reed just crash lands onto the ring. The table smashed and Bronson Reed is out of the match for good. CM Punk finally shows his loyalty towards the tribal chief, and these two men are now on the same page. What a beautiful moment. I had tears in my eyes. That's right. It was an amazing moment for these two people who have had so many differences in their careers to be able to work their things out, and then they finally got together with the Usos, started beating up everyone from Bloodline 2.0, and then the final segment of the match was that the OG Bloodline has Solo kind of surrounded, and all of them hit their finishing moves. Punk hits the GTS, Sammy hits him, I think it was the Usos that hit him with super kicks, and then Sammy hits the hell of a kick, Punk hits the GTS, and finally Roman hits the spear, and it's 1, 2, 3, ning 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 ning, and the baby faces, the OG Bloodline, they win the match. This was an epic ending to an epic match. I think this was one of my favorite WarGames match of all time. The storytelling was pure mastery. It was a masterpiece. It was cinema. It felt like WWE was just directing a movie, and this was one of the best WarGames matches that I have ever seen, and I've seen quite a few matches. So trust me when I tell you, if you haven't watched that match, you need to go and watch that WarGames match, because it was out of this world. And so now we have the OG Bloodline who have defeated Solo Sikoa and his Bloodline 2.0, and now there are so many questions left unanswered, because CM Punk, after the match, said to Paul Heyman, hey, I'm gonna come ask for my favor, and when I come, you better oblige. And Paul Heyman said, yeah, sure buddy, sure, we'll do that, no problem. So what's the favor that CM Punk's gonna ask? What happens to Roman Reigns? What happens to Solo Sikoa? Does Roman Reigns finally get back his Ula Fala? And does Roman Reigns finally become the undisputed tribal chief? There are so many questions that Survivor Series has left us with, but it was a great show. I think I would rank it maybe 4 out of 5 just for the result of the women's WarGames match. But otherwise, it was an amazing PLE and WWE doing what they do best, putting on really good shows. They are on a different level right now. The Bloodline story is just too good, and adding CM Punk to the mix was just chef's kiss, man. So that was the video for today. I hope you enjoyed this review of Survivor Series WarGames. Write down in the comment section below if you want me to do more videos like this, and we will do that for you. Smash that like button, comment, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends. Love you all for all your support, and this is the Predator signing out. Bye-bye.